All I do, my name is Ricardo and I'm a wheel addict live. um, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's Monday, and usually on Mondays, let me just give me 1 second here, just make sure there's no sound. Basically, I'm at the skate shop, and I have someone that works at the skate shop every single day. That person you might know as Mo. But Mondays is Mo's day off. So on Mondays I'm usually here all day, and I just thought it would be a good thing to start doing this live stream on Mondays. So we will see how it goes. Let me see how many people I have watching this online. I have 2 people watching online and both like the video. Okay, let's see. So my idea today was to do something. Give me 1 second. Hey Dante, how you doing? So my whole idea today was to make a video, and it was about two hard boot skates. Basically, as most of you might know, I used to work with a company called Powerslide that makes this skate. This is the Powerslide Imperial, which I used to speak a lot about this skate, and it's still, in my opinion, a really good hard boot skate. Since almost 2 months now, I started working with a brand called Micro, and Micro also has a hard boot solution, and that hard boot solution is this one. Boom. This is the MT Plus. So my idea today was to actually bring the camera while I was here all day and try to make not really a comparison, but talk about the pros and cons of both skates. And I did it. I can actually show you a bit of it. But to start off, I didn't charge the camera enough, so I was doing it in a rush. Then once I finished it, I realized that it was out of focus. So here's the thing. The whole thing is out of focus, so it's completely unusable. So that's why I'm doing this live stream. At the moment, someone is asking, what is going on? So at the moment I'm using my phone. The quality might not be the best. I'm also not using any type of microphone. I'm just here at the shop and using my phone with a really basic live stream. Let's see what's happening here. Let me just go through the questions or what's going here. So we got Harry. You might know Harry from the live stream. He was the cameraman, and Harry keeps on going if I like bananas. Man, of course I like bananas. I live in Africa, man. Everyone likes bananas in Africa. It's impossible not to. Okay, let's keep going. What else do we have here? Wait, I love, what does it say here? I can't see the full thing. I'm sorry. I love skate, but I'm away from you. Yeah, I'm away from a lot of people. I'm in Africa, so there's not a lot of my followers here. Basically, most of the people watching this YouTube channel are from America or from Europe or whatever. Let's see what else we got here. Joel saying, good videos, Ricardo. Joel is asking to send those skates for the UK. Yeah, some of these skates are already selling in the UK, like the Imperials and all the Powerslide line. So as other companies, of course, through Loco Skate. And when it comes to Micro, we are right now finding a solution for having Micro available everywhere in Europe. So in the next, I would say maybe 1 to 1.5 months, they should be available or ready to be available at your favorite skate shop. So let's see how it goes. We've been working on new things, but I don't want to make these only about Micro. I want to make these as a live stream where you can ask me whatever you want. So we got Dante, which lives in Africa, saying bananas are great. I told you, Harry, It's about Africa. We all love bananas. Okay, Evo Trinity or Adapt GTO Speciale for freestyle. I would say they're both completely different skates. The Evo Trinity or the Evo Pro, it's one of the best skates that I've ever tried. It's an amazing skate and it's done for slalom. Like it has a raised heel. So the Evo skates, the Hardcore Evo previously and the Evo Trinity, which is the Evo Pro, it has a little bit of a raised heel. And yes, there is a lot of people using this skate for urban skating, cruising the city fast, slides, all that stuff that I actually like to do, and that's the skate from Powerslide that I was using. And that is an amazing skate for urban, but also an amazing skate for freestyle skating, and most of the people like it for slalom, all that. The Adapt GTO Speciale, I think that's the name because it's an Italian name, even if it's a company from Holland. I know that the owner of Adapt has a passion for like fast motorcycles and stuff, and that's why the name is Speciale. But they call these a hyper skate. They don't say it's a freestyle skate. I would say it's a skate that you can use to go faster to the city. I would see this GTO skate more as a skate for urban skating than for slalom. It's, first of all, I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit heavier, but the way that your foot is going to be inside. I know that the Evo Trinity, they have that front strap that I actually don't like, but most of the people that do slalom or freestyle skating, they love that front strap because it keeps your foot in place and that makes your skate perform a lot better on some type of heel rolls, toe rolls and stuff like that. You need to have your foot in the right place. So I would say for freestyle, maybe the Evo Trinity might be a better solution, but I still like the GTO a lot. What's up, Joseph? I just saw that Joseph joined the thing. Let me see what else we got here. What's your opinion about the 2019 model of the Hardcore Evo Pro? I don't know if I've seen the 2019 model, but it shouldn't be too far from the latest version that I had. I had the 2018, which was all black, and that's why I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen the 2019. I don't think they made a lot of changes in that boot. Let me just make a quick check on that. Hardcore Evo Powerslide 2019. Let me see if there's... Okay, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest difference between the 2018 and the 2019 are the wheels, because the 2018 skate was coming with the Powerslide spinner wheels, which are these wheels right here, but these ones are 110 and that skate comes with 90s. And the newer version comes with undercover wheels, which is usually a better wheel. It's a wheel made in the USA. It's also a bit more expensive, but it should be a better wheel. Let me know if it's too noisy outside, because I'm here by the shop and it's an industrial area. I might need to close this. There's some guys working really hard outside. Let me just see what else I got here. Sorry about okay, what else? I saw someone asking something about the fifth element, Evo Trinity. Got some Trinity, the Evo Trinity Exo skeleton frame, and the screw to adjust. The skate keeps falling and stripping the slots. Wait, I have that frame right here. Are you talking about this frame? And if it's this frame, you're talking about here or here? I did have a problem with one of these frames on the axle, but there was a problem with the axle, and once I changed the axle, that was completely good, no problem at all. But please let me know. I'm pretty sure if it's something to do with the axles or the frame, I'm sure that Powerslide will help you with that. So you might be able to contact your local dealer and he should be able to sort you out. Let's see what else we got here. I got some Trinity. Okay, someone is saying that the fifth element is going in production as soon as possible. I know that the production already started. In fact, I will not be able to do an unboxing right away, but in 2 weeks time I should have a pair of Fifth Elements which I'm going to be skating, trying not to film a lot because the whole idea obviously I'm not associated with Rossi's at all. I don't work with Rossi's, but I do like the skates, so I have the possibility to get those skates a little bit before, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be skating them and keep the footage for a review of that skate. I'm going to be making an unboxing and I'm going to be making like a long review on the Fifth Element, but it will not be published before the skate be available. I hope you understand that, but that has to do with the marketing side from a company, which usually they don't want to advertise a skate which is not available at the moment. At the moment I've been skating with the Neils for Aggressive a lot, and I really like them. But I also got at the Winter Clash, the guys from G Boots also gave me a new set of skins, and they look really cool. They're completely different, but I'm going to keep that for a different video. I should be putting those together soon. Let's see what else we got here. Sorry that I'm looking to the side, but I got my phone here with all the messages and the computer here, so I'm trying to go through as many questions as I can. Bundu Boots! Let me tell you about Bundu Boots. Bundu Boots, just say greetings. Basically, Bundu Boots is someone from Namibia, Sheldon, that's his name. Sheldon, basically, he had a TV show. Let me try to, it's hard to put all the thoughts together that I have about Sheldon. Sheldon is a guy from Namibia. He's in his 40s, maybe early 50s, I'm not really sure. And Sheldon had a few pairs of inline skates, but he never really enjoyed the skates that he had because he lives in Namibia, really close to the desert, or even in the desert, I don't really know. And I know that he started making his own skates, and it looks weird, but he rips those things apart. Basically, the whole thing is like a shadow or like a dupe skate, all made out of aluminum or metal. I don't really know what material he uses. And he puts like 2 big wheels, and it just cruises the desert on that. And it is somehow, I don't know if it's because of these or not, he had his own TV show in Namibia where he was just going with his skates through small towns and show those towns and all that. It's kind of weird from what I'm used to see when it comes to skating, but it's amazing. I met Sheldon at the skate shop like 2 years ago, and I never saw him again. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, he sent me a message because he's looking for tires, like the off-road skates, but with 85 millimeters, which I don't really know where to get them. So if someone watching these knows where to get wheels, kind of like a little pram wheels for baby cars, something like that in 85 millimeters, please let us know in the comments, and I'm pretty sure Sheldon will be watching this. Okay, what else we got here? Got some... Any projects in America or Latin America? I love your channel. Thank you, Fernando. Fernando Miranda. Well, here's the thing. With me working for Micro, I will have the possibility to travel more than I used to, which is actually really good for this channel. I really want to go to North America this year, so as I want to go to South America like I went last year to Brazil. There's a lot of places that I would love to go, and then after being in Brazil, I was really surprised with the amount of people skating. I was just in São Paulo for about 10 days, and in those 10 days I skated with different groups of people every single day. And when I mean groups of people, I'm not talking about 3 or 4 guys, I'm talking about skating each time with 50 or 60 people. So I was really surprised by that, and I really want to experience that again. And if I can go with my family, and if I can show them how big skating is in some places, I really want to do it. So yes, it's in my plans. I don't have dates yet, but as soon as I know, I will try to publish something in this channel about it. So thank you, Fernando. James McCarthy, what did James say? Let me try to, sorry, I got a few more messages than I was expecting. I have 50 people watching. James McCarthy, I really like your content. Thank you so much, man. Hope you have a great. Hope everyone has a great day. Thanks, James. I hope you're having a good day too. Someone said something in Russian which I don't really understand. Feel free to donate money. Don't, man. It's like I'm not doing that for that. But let me tell you. So this is important for me to tell you all. It's noisy outside. I should close the door, but at the same time, I don't want to. Hope you guys understand. So when we did the live stream of the Winter Clash, there was times that we had about 1,300 people watching, and during that live stream, we had a lot of people that actually donated money. I'm not expecting anyone to do it, especially right now. There's no quality in this. This is just me at the shop talking to some of the people that follow this channel. But with that video, with that single video, in the end, we made about $150. Those $150 are basically about, I would say, to make that live stream with the gear, I had to spend $500 on a used camera plus microphones and all that. So it paid about 25% of the money that I had to spend for the live stream, which is amazing. That means that if I would make 3 more live streams like that, I would probably pay for the full gear. So I just want to say thank you all, but I'm not expecting anyone watching this to donate money. Whatever happens. It's not the reason why I'm doing this. Okay, what else? Okay, skatography. Can you shed some light on use of lubricants, silicone spray, grease, and what do you use the most? Okay, so I actually made a video about that a few months ago, where I was actually with Mo, and Mo is not here today. Mo is the one that knows a lot more about that. I don't really know too much about bearings and lubricants because I'm not gonna say that I'm lazy. I don't want to say that I'm lazy, but I actually am a bit, because I've been lucky enough to be working with skate brands a lot, and I used to be sponsored by Wicked Bearings, so I used to get a lot of bearings. And when you have like good bearings, and if you pay attention to the places that you go, or if you try to take care of them like in a way that you don't go to beach sand, or if it's really rainy, you try to avoid like going through mud and stuff like that. I don't really have problems with the bearings, but I know that some people are really hectic about those. I know that Mo takes a lot more attention to that than I do. So I can't really tell you a lot. I know that he always talks about silicone spray being better than that. What's the name of that thing that a lot of people do? Something with 40 in the name. I don't really know the name of it. I know there's something that people put on the bearings that it's not really the best thing. But I'm sorry, I don't really remember the name of those things right now. The best freestyle frame for someone back to blading. Okay. The best freestyle frame for someone which is back to blading. There's, I would say, 2 different types of frames. Are you talking about back to blading in an aggressive skating back to blading, or as an urban skater? Because as an urban skater, that you have companies like Powerslide advertising the 3-wheel frames a lot, which it has a lot of pros and it has some cons. It's the truth, and I actually made videos about the pros and the cons. I keep saying the same, which is having 3 wheels, bigger wheels, allow you to roll smooth, but at the same time you're a little bit taller. When you're starting, being a little bit taller is not the best. When you're a little bit more advanced, being taller can also be an advantage. When you try to slide, knowing that your boot is not going to touch can be an advantage. At the same time, for some people, even really advanced skaters, they like to be always super low to the ground. As an example, that's why Leon Bassine with his wizard frame keeps on going lower and lower. That's why they went from 4 wheels to 5 wheels to get a frame lower. So it all has to do with taste, and I wouldn't say one is better and the other one is worse, but you have from 3-wheel frames that will allow to roll smooth with bigger wheels, but if you have 5 wheels, you will also roll smooth, with the advantage that you can probably roll downstairs easier than 3 wheels, because on 3 wheels there's like a big dent, which makes it harder for you to roll downstairs. Again, there's going to be pros and cons on both, and you might need to, if you have the possibility to try them, that will always be the best. For aggressive skating frames, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be cruising in a skate park, I would say go flat, something like the AM skate is always amazing. If you're just looking for a frame, try to get something that allows you to ride flat, or at least a high-low frame, something like the wish frame, but the wish frame is long. It's not good for everyone. If you have a tiny foot, the wish frame might be too big for you. The adapt frames that I was skating, they are amazing. There's a lot of different options out there, but if you're gonna be skating and doing a lot of runs, and if you want to go anti-rocker, make sure that you have good wheels. Because having bad wheels with anti-rocker will give you a really bad experience, and that's sometimes all that you need to not wanting to skate again. You put on those 4 wheels that don't really roll because the wheels are really bad, and then you feel like you can't go through anything. It's not actually a good feeling. So if you get 4 wheels, if you're gonna be skating aggressive skating with anti-rockers, make sure that you get good wheels. That's super important. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Dante is asking me for advice to grow the YouTube channel. The most important thing is to be consistent, no matter what you do. I actually made a workshop about these type of thing at the Winter Clash, about growing social media, and it's not just about YouTube, it's about all of these. The most important with social media is to, oh no way, we got Danny Aldridge. Lino knows. I think the most important thing for you to grow social media is to be consistent, and I'm going to give Danny Aldridge example. Danny just joined. But Danny, if you're not following Danny Aldridge on Instagram, you might be sleeping. Basically, Danny Aldridge is the main face. I would say the new face last year, this year one of the main faces for rollerblade. And what he does with Instagram is amazing. Basically, he's someone who is on skates every single day. He skates every day, everywhere. And he uses like 80mm skates, and then at the park he uses aggressive skating skates, whatever, sometimes he uses 80mm, but he's always doing stories. So again, he is consistent, you know. If you do that for one day and then you don't do it for a week, people start following that day of yours, and then for the next week they don't have anything. So no matter what social media, the most important thing is for you to be consistent. What else we got here? I'm sorry, I'm going through all the messages. I'm gonna try to reply to as many as I can. Okay, Nelson asking me, are you back? What is it like to live in South Africa? Well, I love it and I hate it, and don't get me wrong. I used to love it until about 1.5 years ago, about 20 months ago. And if you start thinking about it, or if you know anything about me or my life from this channel, you should know that I have a 20 months old daughter. So until 20 months ago, I used to love South Africa. Since I got my daughter, it's not the same. Basically, I don't feel as safe for my daughter. For me, I don't really care. Me and my wife used to go to places, and if we wanted to go out, we would go out. If you wanted to stay at home, like, you always need to have stuff. Like, if you look outside, you see these fences, which at first freaked me out a little bit, and then I kind of got used to it. Nowadays, with my daughter, it's not the best. I have to admit, it's not. I don't feel as safe to grow a child in these, and that's why I keep saying there might be some changes. That might be the reason why the shop moved to this new place, but I will do a video about that soon, so I don't really want to talk about that too much yet. Let's see what else we got here. Michelle, Michael Hall is asking about my back. My back has been a lot better. I also lost a little bit of weight, which was important, and I also started taking care of some things, or starting to look at some things that I wasn't really looking before. So, man, I'm not as young anymore. I'm at the moment 38 years old, and I try to skate as much as I can, which is almost every day, unless something goes wrong. I try to skate a bit every day. But skating every day, if you don't have a healthy lifestyle, it's still not the healthiest thing to do, especially with the type of skating that I like to do. Of course, I've been trying to adapt as much as I can, what I can do to what I like to do, and it's been working out until now, but every now and then there's falls if you're going to be challenging yourself. And if your body is not prepared, well, stuff like that happened to my back, it can happen. So since that, I started always stretching every single time before I go skate. I stretch. I started taking paying a lot more attention to my food. I started going to the gym more often, not just exercising the way you do on skates, but also exercising some muscles that you don't on the skates. Until now, it's feeling a lot better, but it's not 100%, I know it. But I keep trying to get better. Okay, let's see what it says here. I'm sorry if I jump any of the messages. I'm trying to go as much as I can. Do you think inline skating should be an Olympic sport? Yes and no. Speed skating, I don't get it. Why it's not an Olympic sport? It should be. That's it. If ice skating is an Olympic sport, why is inline skating an Olympic sport? A lot of the skaters that compete on the ice skating, they also compete on inline skates. So for those guys, yes, right away. Then for the rest, I don't know. I don't really know. What type of skating would be competing? Maybe slalom, or maybe that skate cross. But with the skate park, there's like skating's changing a lot. I would maybe prefer to see what's happening with the skateboarding in the Olympics before I actually answer that. I think skating is changing a lot, and there's a lot of different parks. There's a lot of different things that would make it really hard to be an Olympic sport. When it comes to speed skating, that's it. It's a 500-meter race. It's a 500-meter race. There's nothing to change about it. If it's a downhill skating, if downhill skating goes to the Olympics, yeah, that could be cool. But do we have enough people downhill skating to make it an Olympic sport? I don't know. That can also be debatable, because some of the Olympic sports don't have enough athletes, but they still keep Olympics. So I don't really know enough about Olympic sports. I do think that speed skating should be part of the Olympics. That's my opinion. What Ruben Duarte is saying is, do new content and don't copy what exists. I don't know. Ruben Duarte is the guy that is a friend of mine. I don't know if he's answering anyone up there. I don't really know what he's saying. Someone is saying, I guess you're bald because of this. I'm bald because I'm using stuff in my head the whole time, and the reason why I use stuff in my head the whole time is because here it started getting too big, and then I just felt more comfortable to use something, and nowadays I got used to it, and I keep on shaving like 3 times a week, every 3 days. Why did X Games got rid of inline? I don't know. There's a lot of expectation. No, there's a lot of opinions about that, but I don't really know. That was one of the things last year when I made that debate, or it was a debate between John Julio, Chris Efe, Arlo, and I was just the one making them questions at the Winter Clash. That was one of the things that I wanted to ask, but then the whole thing evolved in a different way, and we didn't got to ask that. But the truth is, it's not because of one person, like some people keep on thinking, that inline was out of the X Games. It's not like that. Maybe because we were being taken care by people don't have the same amount of passion that we should. Like, if everyone that was taken care of inline was just businessmen, and the people with passion didn't have enough power over it, that might have made the numbers go down, and that might have made us have less people skating. Because the businessmen all they saw was like, if there's no way to make money here, let's go a different way. We don't need inline, let's go some other way. I don't know if that's the reason. That's something that for me was always hard to understand. Not the X Games, but having businessmen leading our sport. So that's why I really like what John Julio is doing and a lot of these companies. But it's really hard to say what happened right there. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of the whole thing, so I don't really know. Ruben is saying that LinoSkateShop.com makes 1 year exactly today. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's damn it. But he was the one making the website, so he knows what we're talking about. Basti is asking, do you miss me? Basti is one of my best friends. He was the other guy with the microphone at the Winter Clash live stream. Of course I miss you, man. Every time. Ruben Chan. Hey Lino, what is a good liner you would recommend that can fit the M12s and the toe box is rather tight? I'm not sure what liner is good and will have better fit. Okay, so I wasn't expecting to have this question, but check this out. I wanted to make 2 videos today. I thought I'm going to the shop, I'm gonna make 2 videos. So I only have 2 liners with me. One is this, the other one is this. This, second. Oh man, my leg. Ooh, pins and needles. Not good. Okay, so these are my favorite 2 liners ever. Right here, this is the second version of the second skin liner. And right here, this is the second version of the Intuition skate liner. They have some similarities. Ooh, those guys are noisy. They have some similarities and some things which are completely different. To start from the top, they're both super slim. And something that is completely different is on this one, it's fully heat moldable, including the sole. So on this one, you don't use an insole. On this one, you should be using an insole. And at the moment, because I'm not skating them, I took the insole and I use it underneath this one. Both of them have lacing, like the lacing system, but the lacing system from the Intuition comes from a lot lower than the lacing system from the MyFit liner. Okay? Then, both of these have a little bit of extra support. With the Intuition, I don't know if you knew, but this yellow thing, it's a Velcro. And it comes with this one, and it also comes with a black one. The black one, it's a lot slimmer, but also a lot harder. It kind of feels like almost plasticky. The yellow one that I've been using, and I do know that a lot of people use it, it's different. It's like a foam, not so plasticky, but more like a hard density foam. So I actually like this a lot. Gives me a little bit more padding on this area of the skate, which on this one, it's already padded by itself. This one is already padded in this area, and it's super slim here, kind of like the Intuition one. Now, the second skin also has this kind of like an X in the back that is supposed to give you a little bit more support to the liner, and it also gives you a little bit more traction in the back of the liner. This one doesn't have that. Okay? This will also make your heel stick out from these little extra supports, so making a little bit of a better heel lock. And on this one, the same also happens, as you can see here. And I guess that's it. They have different ways, like the skate carrier on both these liners, you can actually use it to do some force on it, and you can actually put the skate by using it. So these are actually both really good liners with a completely different pocket. This is a lot more expensive. It's like 200 euros or dollars, and this is something that comes on a 230 euro skate. or 250, which is the Billy O'Neill. So it's a completely different price range, but this is a really good option if you can't have the money for that. So I know that my feet now is a new liner, but I haven't tried that one, so I can't really tell you that much about it. But I can tell you that both these liners fit in really slim skates like the M12. So I hope I helped you with this one. Let's see what else I got here. I'm gonna go up here. What more questions I got here? Could you make a sort of tutorial video how you manage your skate shop? Was it steps? Okay. Okay, that's actually not because you asked here, that's something that I actually thought about making it. I really wanted to do a video to try to get more people to start a little business like I have. At the moment, I'm not really the one running the skate shop anymore. Basically, we have a skate shop owner, which is Mo, and from the beginning of next month, my wife, she is doing basically all the orders and everything directly with Mo. It's still my shop, I still try to help as much as I can, but I'm so much in so many little things that I can't really be fully focused on the skate shop. And it's a lot better for the skate shop and for skating in South Africa to have people which is really focused on it. So yes, I still help them as much as I can, but the people really running the skate shop, it's Mo and my wife. Mo is the face of the skate shop at the moment. He's always the one here. When someone calls, he's the one that answers the phone. Of course, if he has any doubt, I'm here to help with whatever I can, but at the moment, Mo is the one managing the shop. But yes, it makes sense to make these videos so that more people can have small businesses, or for skates to be available for everyone worldwide. So I'll try to do something with that. Of course, every single country has different taxes systems and all that, but I'm not going to touch that part. I'm going to be touching more about how to contact like the brands and what you can expect from them, stuff like that. I can help you with for sure. Jefferson Miranda, sim. Jefferson is asking if I also speak in Portuguese, so excuse me for the next 30 seconds. Sim, Jefferson, eu também falo português. Eu sou originalmente de Portugal, vivo na África do Sul desde há 4 anos atrás, mas normalmente estou em contacto com portugueses e brasileiros no dia a dia. Portanto, sim, continuo a falar português, é a língua que falo com a minha família, meu pai, minha mãe, minha irmã. And now back to English. Let's keep going here. Chin, Lino, do you know when the new SPC liners from my feet will come out? I don't know. I do, but I am going to Europe for 3 days. Basically, I'm going on the 15th and coming back on the 17th of March, just to bring some things and to pick other things, and I'm going to try to bring the new market liner and make a review on this channel. Hopefully I'll make it work out, so I will let you know, Tim, as soon as I can about the availability of the new I don't know the name of it, SPC liners, yeah. Okay, Bundu Boots, I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing it here. Would you sell skateboarding gear? Sorry, Dante. I know that you have your own skateboarding brand and all that, but it does not make sense for me to sell skateboarding gear. Of course, if you need help, if you need to drop anything by my shop and someone to collect it, of course you can do it. Of course, if you have a friend that needs any advice, if there's anything that we know, we will advise him. But I will always say that the best for skateboarders and for skateboarding in general is for people to go through skateboarding course shops, not an inline skating course shop. It does not make sense. I can help you, like I said, if you need to deliver something to someone, I can help you with that, but it's not really my core business and I don't want to get into anyone's business with it, so I hope you understand. What products am I excited for 2019? There's a few. Let me just close that door because it's killing me and I can't really get it in. Sorry. I'm back. Sorry guys. Okay. What products am I excited? What products am I excited for 2019? There's a lot. I'm actually super excited to see stuff. It's still noisy. I'm actually super excited about brands bringing back some of the gear that was amazing, like the Fifth Element or 50/50 now coming back with frames in 2018 and now re-releasing new colorways. I'm excited about that for sure, but I'm also super excited about completely new products. And I'm going to be as honest as I can. I don't know about a lot of companies making completely new products. I know there was a lot of people giving shit to Rosie's for using the exact same sole plate that, not the exact same, like a super similar sole plate to what it was used on the Valo skates. But hey, it's a huge investment for a company to make a completely new mold. So they had to make investments to make the boot, and they had a sole plate that could work with it. And people loved that sole plate for so long. So I don't really understand why people gave him so much hate, but at the same time, it's not up to me to judge any of that. I can tell you that that was probably, or there is one of the main, one of those skates that I'm super excited about 2019 because it does have that old school feeling, but it's a completely new skate. So yes, I'm excited about that product, and yes, I'm excited about some of the products that I've been working in with Micro. I can't really say a lot about them. I know there was one that was posted by Blade Tech yesterday. That's obviously not the finalized version, but we've been working on some completely new stuff, which I'm actually excited. So for the first time, I'm working on a line that my input is really going to turn into a skate. So I can't talk a lot about it yet. I can tell you that we are trying to get something ready for people to see for July. And things actually working with a company like Micro have been working really, really fast. For the skate that was published on Blade Tech, there was a skate that I started working with a company and I had some ideas already, and 3.5 weeks later I got my first sample. It's been 2 months and the second sample is ready, and I've never seen this speed of production before. So I'm really, really excited about that. And that's something that even if I just started working with the company 2 months ago, it's something that I can say that I'm excited for 2019. Okay, sorry about the sound. I know the sound is not the best, but since I closed the door, it even gets worse because the sound is just traveling around everywhere. Let's see. Any info on the Powerslide 125mm wheels with aluminum cores? Okay, so I saw them for the first time. Is it the Powerslide ones or the metal ones? Because I saw them for the first time. Last year in June, and they should be out soon. What you guys should know is that a lot of the companies should be coming out with new products now. It's now starting the season, which is the North American and European spring. So in the next 2 to 3 months, there should be a lot of companies releasing new products that you haven't seen. Some of them you've seen catalogs, some of them will be surprises for a lot of us, but the next 2 to 3 months should be quite exciting for skating. Nicola Torelli, good morning. Keep it up, man. Keep it up, Nicola. Nicola is this guy from Italy. He's been living in London. I think he's skating for Powerslide, and he's like a really different urban skater. Like he's one of those guys that skates a lot through town with a GoPro and he does really cool content. He was in Barcelona. So if you're not following Nicola Torelli, make sure to look for Nicola Torelli. I think, let me see, with 2 L's. Nicola Torelli with 2 L's. Look for him on Instagram. You'll find really cool content. Okay, Bashka, just put learn to roll. Okay, what happened here? Someone wants to learn how to rollerblade or inline skate. Let me see. Okay, so there's this guy, I don't know the name, Bashkar Yad something. Please reply. Can anyone help? What are the YouTube channel which will help how to learn basic skating? I did have a playlist on this channel called How to Skate for Dummies. I made 4 or 5 videos which teach super basic things such as standing up, sitting, how to do the first steps. Maybe look at that. That can be super helpful. If in 30 seconds I can give you some tips for skating, there's 2 things that you should know. Start skating, put your skates in, make sure that you have good supportive skates. Start by walking on grass. After that, try to find like a little, I call it like a carpet, which is not too thick but also not too slim, and you can walk on that carpet. That will give you the feel of supporting your feet. Okay, then from then you can go for using a pram so that you lean forwards, or if you don't want to use any pram, just put your hands on your knees and do the exact same movements that you were doing on the carpet or on the grass with your hands on your knees. The hands on your knees will make you lean forward, and the main goal here is to never ever go on your heels. The most dangerous fall on inline skates is backwards, so try to avoid that with everything you can. Falling forwards, it's not dangerous at all. Your whole life you might have tripped in a stone or whatever and just fall forward. Falling backwards is a completely new thing here, so that's a dangerous thing. Try to avoid that by putting your hands on your knees, and these will make you lean forward. I think these are some really basic tips, but it can help you. From what you can also do is, like I told you, just go and look for that playlist called How to Skate for Dummies. Let's see, keep going. Ricardo, it seems that you are on big wheels for ages. What's your signature? What about your signature bike frame? What's the story behind this one? Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so some of you might not know that I had like a signature bike frame. It was called the Brainiac. That's a brain. That's a plus, and usually it's something that I use it for myself, and it means think positive. So it's a tattoo that I've done for myself to remind me to stay positive no matter what. That's why the frame is called the Brainiac. But here's what happened. I used to skate for USD as a professional skater for a long period of time. And once I finished my graduation, I started working on a gym, because I studied sports science. I still skated with USD skates, not as a professional skater, and then I tried a few different skates and all that, but I kept on trying skating. But my way of skating back then was always just to go big, trying to find the biggest rail or the biggest gap and just jumping from the top. And if you're not skating every single day, if you try to keep like working to make an income in the end of the month, that type of skating is just not sustainable, and that's what I was trying to do. So every time I would skate, I would get hurt, my feet would swallow a lot, because when I used to be a professional skater, I had a lot of twisted ankles and a lot of problems with my ankles that I never ever took the time to properly heal, because I just wanted to skate and get videos done and pictures and all that. And in the end, I ended up fucking my feet. That's the reality. So there was a time that I wasn't really feeling skating as being the healthiest thing to do, and my car broke. Once my car broke, I still needed to go to work. So I bought a bicycle, just a regular bicycle from Decathlon, a really cheap one. So I started riding that bike to work, but as someone who used to challenge himself for his whole life as a skater. It was just way too hard for me to just be on the bike and not doing anything. Then I found out about these bikes that were called fixed gear bikes, which would make it a little bit more challenging because you wouldn't have brakes and your feet would be attached to the pedals. And I found a way to get one of those bikes, really cheap, but the bike was so cheap that it was always breaking, so I had to buy little parts for the bike constantly. I spent so much money on that bike, but at the same time I kept on learning how to do little tricks and here and there and there and there. And when I looked at myself, I was completely addicted to that, spending a lot of money in those bikes and actually getting good at it. So I organized an event in Portugal called the West Jam, and that event turned out to be almost like the winter clash for fixed gear bikes. It was a really big event in that year with people coming from America, people coming from all over Europe, and it was a really cool event. And some of the guys from America that came, one of them used to skate. His name is Ed Wonka. He was a really good friend of Billy O'Neill, and they had the biggest fixed gear freestyle bike company called Grime from New York. So when they came to the event, they saw me riding the bike and they asked me to ride for their company. So I would never expect to ride for the best fixed gear bike company, and I did. I got really close to the owners of the company and I kind of helped them as much as I could, but then they had like an internal fight and that bike brand ended up dying. But I grew so much in the bike world that after that brand, I started riding for a bike brand called Destroy from Redwood City, which is originally where Brian Shima, BJ Bernard, Pat Lennon, like the Bomb Squad was from. So I started riding for this bike brand and they had amazing frames, but they didn't have anything of what I really wanted. So I told them I would like to make a frame because they used to handmade the frames in their own city. They had their own warehouse, their own workshop. So they were making a frame for me and they told me, why don't we make a signature frame and try to sell it? And that was the thing. So the frame was called the Brainiac, and I think they made 50 of those and they sold it. The realities of that frame was for me to fly to America, and that was it. I was never in it for the money or anything like that. And that's the story about me having a signature frame. Let's see what else we got here. Ricardo, just want to say that I'm a big fan. Rafael Portela. Ever since I saw you skating the skate park in Sinj. Oh, thank you so much, Rafael. Okay. Any good 90mm frames? I'm sorry if I skipped any of the questions above. Well, there's 3-wheel 90mm, there's 4-wheel 90mm, and 5-wheel 90mm. At the moment, I think I have those 3. I do not skate 90mm tri-skates. I don't skate with 3 wheels because I feel like they are too short for my feet. I keep saying the same. It's important to have the right length of the frame according to your foot size and according to how tall you are. I'm actually quite tall, and having a really short frame, it's not going to give me the amount of balance that I need. So I would say that I use the 4 90mm from Symmetrics, which is the company sister from Adapt. I've been using that a lot on my micro skates, these ones. I've been skating them on these, but these are not those frames. And I've been skating the Katamotos 5x90 for downhill for over 1 year now. Both of these frames, they are, in my opinion, really, really amazing frames. But of course, there are also some UFS frames. There's the Wizard frame starting from 90mm. I know that Seba also does 90mm frames. Powerslide also does 90mm frames. Basically, what you should know is that most of the speed skating companies do 90mm frames because for the young kids, they can't skate bigger wheels than 90s. So there's some quite strict rules about the age of the kids and the wheel diameter that they can use on speed skates. So maybe look for kids speed skate frames, and then you'll find something. But again, it depends on the mounting that you want. If you want Trinity, if you want 165 or UFS. I think in Trinity there's still some frames missing. There's 5 wheels, 590s, 490s missing. I think there's only 390s. As a 165, I think you got them all, and as UFS, you got 90s too. So let's see what else we got here. The Adapt Symmetrics frame, I would say best is 490, and the Seva Deluxe being second. I never tried the Seva Deluxe, but I heard really good things about the Seva Deluxe frame, so they might be good. What I like about the Symmetrics frame, it's how clean it is. There's no cuts, there's no nothing. It's just a super simple frame, an old matte black. It just looks amazing. I love that. So what else? Hey brother, sending some love to you. What's up, Martin? Love back to the UK. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, hey Ricardo, interested in your thoughts. What do you think is the most relevant discussion happening for inline skating at the moment that is helping the appeal of strengthening of the community? Okay, I wouldn't say the discussion, but I keep on saying the same. The most important thing is for all of us to actually love what we do. Because if we really love what we do, and if we have passion for this, we're going to do whatever it takes to make it work. When we're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's too easy to just start going away from it. So as long as we're doing it for the right reasons, this sport will always be growing. And growing, it's a hard thing to see for all of us, because it seems like in a lot of places we don't see a lot of young kids. So there will be something else that I think it's important for the rest of the world to discuss. And I think it was really amazing that happened, as an example, at the Winter Clash. There was a panel about skate schools. I know that not everyone wants to go to a skate school, especially as an adult, but at the same time, as a father myself, I would feel a lot safer if my daughter would be learning with someone that knows what they're doing and someone that already teaches a lot of people how to do it. And if you look at what's happening in Asia, it's, for me, that was the most impressive thing I've seen in the last few years related with skating. Going to a random shopping mall in a small town in China and finding outside some barriers. They basically closed the place, and there were 4 guys, like three girls and 1 guy, just teaching skating. And the amount of parents that would go there, some of them would rent skates, some of them had their own skates, and that's just a random shopping mall. And I know that's happening everywhere. I know that the company that I'm working with, Micro, has a lot of those skate schools. I know that Flying Eagle has a lot of those skate schools. For people from the West, like me, and from a lot of people watching this video, it's hard for us to understand. But like in China and in Asia, there's a lot of places that people they pick their kids from school and they take them to studying rooms. Basically, it's a place where the kids learn new skills, mostly related with what they learn in school. Like men in China, a lot of them learn to be engineers, and a lot of people want their kids to be like them. But at the same time, there's also a lot of these places for sports, and having companies like Micro and like Flying Eagle having these clubs where people can just pick their kids from school and leave them in those places and the kids learning new skills, it's actually amazing. So I keep saying the most important thing is for us to never forget why we started this, and it's the passion. We can never get away from the love that we have for this. If we do start going away from that, then there's something that needs to change, or we need like a callback. Wait, someone just donated some money. What happened here? Someone donated. Roll Daily just donated $2 to Canadian dollars. What boots to pair on the Wizard frames, not the Seba SX? You know what? That's an amazing question, which I've been looking for the answer. I wouldn't go for the Seba SX2. I think having a carbon frame, like a carbon boot for that type of frame would be the best option. But I don't know if Seba is still doing the CJ Carbon and SX1. I don't know. I haven't seen them that much. So if you need to look for an option at the moment, it's actually really hard. And that's been something that I've been trying to work on. And I can't tell you a lot about it yet. So we'll see what happens. But I do know that there's not a lot of good options for that. I know some people are skating Solomon skates with the Wizards. I never really, don't get me wrong, I said this a million times. The Solomon skates are amazing skates, but if I can choose between a company which is trading right now and a company that is not here anymore, I would rather go for a company still making skates. But the Solomon seems to be a skate that people like, but I don't think it's supportive enough for such a tall frame. That's one of the options. Then most of the carbon skates of the market, like the USDs, they all feel like they're super low. So I don't really know what's the best option. I've been looking for an option as a carbon frame and I couldn't find it. I do know that the K2s, they're not carbon, but they're really stiff, so this should be supportive enough. So that might be one of the best options. Other than that, I don't really know what to tell you, huh? Sorry, man. How much money should I spend on a pair of skates for a beginner? And what do you advise as a brand or model? I keep saying the same. Depends on what type of skating you're going to do, but having a urban skate, it's usually a good option. Usually urban skates, like something like a hard boot, it's the best option for a beginner. Something like the Imperial, something like the MT. These are good options for beginners. Reason for that is a hard boot skate is usually more supportive. This is important. And at the same time, being plastic, if you fall, if you just scrap them, you're not really concerned about it. Also, these boots are usually, you can change the frame. You can use the 3x110 like these. You can use the 4x80. Most of the people that are starting, they feel more confident with smaller wheels. Is it better? I don't really think it's better. I know that it's slower, you might have a little bit more control, but at the same time, let me show you something. This is how much lower it is. It's a lot lower and you feel a lot closer to the ground with this, okay? But at the same time, having bigger wheels will also allow you to roll smooth through like rougher surfaces. So it's more like a mental thing. I would say the most important thing is to go for a hard boot. Something like this, a hard boot skate will make you more in control of the skates. That's the most important thing. Of course, if the frame is too long, it's going to be really hard for you, because once you want to learn how to turn or something like that, don't go for a super long frame. Try to go for something which is about the same length as your foot, the frame, and the boot, something which is supportive and at the same time also comfortable. It's important to get a comfortable skate. You should visit Mary Munoz and check how she teaches people and have a street skate session with him after. Okay, so I had a conversation with Mary Munoz for about 3 hours the day before the Winter Clash. I really love what she's doing and I think she's doing it amazing. And especially After being with Mary last year at the Winter Clash, seeing Mary again, and now she's growing in skating, for me, it's super inspiring, because Mary last year, she would look at skating and she could only imagine skating as a skater. That's it. You can think of just going and doing bigger and bigger tricks. And this year, I don't know, it's kind of like someone just shake her head, and it's completely different. And I'm not talking shit about Mary last year. She's an amazing skater, and someone with that amount of skill needs to concentrate on skating a lot to get better. But at the same time, what she's doing nowadays with teaching kids and all that will give her a little bit more comfort to keep skating. And at the same time, it's also super good for your soul when you see that you're teaching and getting more people on skates. So I really think she's doing an amazing job. I know Mary and I know what she's doing. So thank you guys for the the advice. Aussie Inline. What did Aussie Inline Skate said? Okay. Yes. So Ari is saying both Mary and Joe had an amazing boost of confidence. Yes, I have to agree with that. From last year to this year, even Joe, we all know that Joe is an amazing skater. And you could see what Ari is saying. Like you can see that they're working on different things. I know that Mary is doing her skate schools, and Joe is trying to share his passion and his skill on skates in a different level. Basically, Mary is more like based in Spain, and Joe has been traveling the world, and he's been doing an amazing job. So if someone is going to ask me, or like someone that already did ask me, my opinion about what Joe did with the GoFundMe, I think people should support that. There's of course, like some people say, other platforms that can be done, but hey, if this wouldn't be a platform that this would be possible, GoFundMe wouldn't allow this to be done. So man, you can support him as you want. That's it. You can support him by buying stuff from his sponsors, and actually send a message to their sponsors on social media and tell them, hey, I bought this because of Joe. This is also going to make his sponsors realize how good he actually is. There's all these things that can be done, but yes, both these guys are doing amazing. Fadi Asiri, I'm afraid falling with inline skates. What should I do? Well, use protection, super important. And these might seem stupid, but I said it before in this live stream. Start in grass, start in a carpet. That's it. Also, what you can do is try to get one of those baby strolls like a pram and just go around in it. It's actually really good. Also, those little walking things for older people that they sell in pharmacies for older people to just walk. They use something like that to teach people how to ice skate. Something like that can help you. Don't be afraid of going out there and just learning and using these progressions. These are super valid progressions that will help you getting a confidence boost for you to be able to skate. That's normal. Balash, Lino, I agree with taller guys need longer frames, but what would a tall beginner do if there is only 200? It's okay, Balash. I would go more with also the size of your foot. There are other options. You can go 255 as an example. The frame that I have from Symmetrics, the 490s, it's a 272, which means that it's a bit longer. So again, it has to do also with the size of your foot. You would want the front wheel and the back wheel to come a little bit outside the skate. But yes, there are not as many options as as in 90 and 100 millimeters. I know that rollerblade also had a 100 millimeter 165 frame. I don't really know the name of the frame. I think it was the Tempest, but I'm not really sure about that. Let's see what else we got here. In a size 46. Woo! Would you recommend a bigger M12? In a size 46, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm lucky enough with a size 43 to have the shell at my size. And I do know that I think they're not making it as big on the Fifth Element. I mean, on the Fifth Element, I'm going to be using a 42. But I know that they're not going to make all the sizes up to a 49. So I don't know. I guess I know that Rossi's uses the centimeter measurement for the skates, and that might be your best option. It's something called Mondo Mondo. I don't know the exact name of the measurement, but it's in centimeters or in millimeters. You can measure your foot, and then on the size of the skate they also have these measurement. I think they even have it on their website, so maybe check that and go that way. That might be your safest option. Greg Dog Skater must go. Thanks a lot to what you do to the blade. Well, thank you guys, thank you so much for the support. I love doing this. I can't really say anything else other than that. Thank you guys, and the reason why I do this is because I really, really love it. And if I can share whatever I know or whatever I learn or whatever I see with someone, I'll do it. Outside the box, M12, go for the bigger. Someone is saying that you should go for the bigger. I don't know. I don't really know. I can't really tell you to go. Okay, Ricardo, 16 years old, beginner from Germany. At the moment, I ride the Realm skates, and I feel it really, my feet really hurt in those. Should I get the new liner, or should save the money for a new pair of skates? It depends. So all these things, there's not like a fixed answer for this. Of course, the Realm are not like a high spec skate, but it depends on how much you want to invest in skating. You can buy a really good liner, like I said before, that costs 3 times the price of the Realm skates, but then you're gonna keep it for several skates, you know. Or you can actually buy a skate like the USD Aeon that comes with a super good liner too. So if you're keen on going for the most expensive liner, then you can buy the liner now. You're going to be using it on your next few setups. But if you are a beginner, probably your best option would be going for something like a skate that comes with a good liner stock, and then you can actually use that liner for other skates if you want in the future. The MyFit liners have a really, really good relation between price and quality. So whatever you can get with that. USD is actually a really good brand. They always come with MyFit liners. Never buy a skate without rolling around in the store 10-15 minutes to find it there. That's actually a good thing. So that's one of the main advantages of going to a physical store instead of going and buying online skates. Buying online skates, you never know how they're really gonna fit. At the shop, you can just put them in, you can roll around. Usually in the skate shop, the floors are good enough so that you don't destroy the wheels, and they will not make any funny face because you got the skates on. But at the same time, you end up, if you have the skates for 10-15 minutes on your feet, you can actually feel if there's any pressure points. Something that you should also know is if it's pressure points, it's different from having a snug feel, because having a snug feel is actually good when you buy a new pair of skates. Feeling the foot like snug means that the foams will get slimmer and then your foot will fit perfect. But if there's like a super pointy pressure point, then it's not the skate for you, or there's something that you should do. There's a lot of different techniques to get rid of those pressure points. Like the skiers, they use heat on the boot, but Most of the companies will not allow you to do it because once there's heat going in the boot, you create a point where it's going to be more fragile. So there's pros and cons on both. Like Ari said, it's good to put the skates on and try to keep them for like 10-15 minutes in the shop and try to feel if that's the right skate or not. But if there's 4 or 5 different options, get ready to spend around 1 to 1.5 hours. Just don't go when the shop is about to close. Okay, someone is saying how to heat these are heat moldable. Good day, mate. Good day, Ian. How are you doing? I called Skate Pro and they say just order my own size, but you recommend one size bigger. So I understand that the skate shop would tell you to buy one size bigger because it's just safer, especially if it's online. Performance wise, it might make a little bit of a difference after a while. If you get the skate which is too big, you might need to change the liner or something like that. So I would say maybe go for the right sizing on the website from Rosie's. Try to see I think it's Mondo Point, that's the name of the measurement. Mondo Point, it's the millimeters or the centimeters, I don't really know. It's the millimetric measurement of your foot, and then it might be a lot more trustable. What is Emma doing? Sorry, what is the question from Emma? Let me try to. I don't get it. Emma. Povilas, hi Lino, hi. I'm trying to answer to everyone and it's actually hard. Okay, what's the best low profile knee pads? Okay, I know that, what's the name of that? G4 makes really cool ones, and the company, I have something from this company, but I don't have these ones here. Let me see. Okay, this is the hell line from Inui. This was a line that was supposed to be a girly line, and then on top of these you can just put the plastic piece, the plastic shield. This is actually really slim, but slimmer than these you would need to go for something like G-form. I know that Inui also has these ones. Basically it's just a little tiny, I don't remember the name of the material. It's this rubber which is really, it feels like soft, but when you hit it hard it works like if it was plastic. So it avoids impact and at the same time allows you to move due to all the cuts. I made a video about those. I just don't remember the name of the knee pads at the moment, but those are good ones. Both of them, they should be around 50-60 euros or dollars for the same type of knee pads. And if you use the most expensive version from Inui, they have Kevlar on top, which should last you a little bit longer in case you just fall on those. So I think these are two options, but I know that the Kevlar ones are quite pricey, like 80 or 85 for a pair of knee pads, that when you look at it, looks just like a sock. Let's see what else we got here. Tau or Hardcore Evo? That's a good question, and I guess that's going to be one of my last questions. This is going to be, I'm sorry guys, I know that people keep on asking some more questions, but this is going to be the last one maybe, okay? So, Tau or Hardcore Evo, these are two super high-end free or urban skates from Powerslide. But they're completely different. They are both carbon skates, but they're completely different. For me, not even a second to think about it, I would go Hardcore Evo. And the reason for that is the Hardcore Evo, it's fully heat moldable. Basically, the foams and the carbon on the Hardcore Evo, it's fully heat moldable. But the carbon on the Tau is not heat moldable. The reason for that being is because it's done with a different technique. The towels are actually lighter, but I don't really care that much about the weight because I don't jump that much. But at the same time, the Evo, the towel is even a little bit harder. Think about it this way. A bicycle, a carbon bicycle, it's done just like the towel. There's a mold and the carbon is made inside that mold. And there's, after that, it's like a compressed carbon thing. It's super stiff, but it should, even if you put it in the oven, there's no resins or anything like that that will be able to mold. On the Hardcore Evo, that's done with layers of carbon and resin and layers of carbon and resin, and those resins are the things that with the temperature will actually get soft, and then you will be able to mold the carbon the way you want. So if you have a pressure point, you can actually do something with that once you get to the right temperature. So that's why I say, for me, the Hardcore Evo. Also, I don't have a lot of flexibility in my foot, bringing my toes up, and the Hardcore Evo are a little bit raised. So the Hardcore Evo make it a little bit harder for me to fall backwards. Okay, this was from Powerslide skates, my favorite skates. At the moment, I've been skating the Delta F from Micro, and I can't really complain a bit. So that's a good option for the Evo skates. And I guess that's it. I'm sorry guys, I know that a lot of people is still making some more questions here, and I would really love to keep answering them, but I'm trying to finish another video. I'm going to try to edit the one, and I'm sorry about the quality of this video. I know it's not the best. I really wanted, like I started this video, I was supposed to do something with a completely different quality, but I don't have the battery for that, and the one that I already filmed wasn't really on focus. There's nothing that I can do. So thank you guys. Again, I'm gonna let this video stay online, so if you're watching it without being live, well, if you like it, give me some thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me some thumbs down. If you want to join these live streams, make sure to subscribe and to click on that bell. Most of the people that are watching this right now, it's because they clicked on that bell and they got a notification when I went live or when I uploaded a video. So the clicking on that bell will make it easier for you to be part of these live streams. Other than that, damn it, not good today. All I can tell you is, like I said before a few times in these live streams, and I'm going to remind you again, do never forget why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun. Cheers guys, and see you soon.